So today we're going to talk about writing equations, section 2.1. So we're starting a new chapter, chapter 2. And so if you notice today, up here on the board it says translate each sentence into an equation. And so up until this point you had translated just an expression but not an equation. So we're going to add that equals to sign to it. And so if you look at this, it says 7 times a number squared. 7 times a number squared. What do you know that is? Yeah.
7 times n squared.
Perfect. 7 times n squared is, what do we know is implies? Equals. So far so good? 5 times the difference of k and m. All right, so 5 times, what does that mean? 5. Yep. And see, this says the difference of k and m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put parentheses for that difference. And what would the difference of k and m be if I was going to write that? K minus m. Very good. So there you go. Translate this sentence into an equation. We did. We're done. Pretty straightforward. All we're going to do is add that equals to sign now and another expression. So with that in mind, I want you to go ahead and complete this one on your expressions. 15 times a number subtracted from 80 is 25. B is the answer. Now, the biggest thing that you needed to get is it doesn't say 15 times a number minus 80. It says 15 times a number subtracted from. Okay, so that means you start with 80 and then you subtract your 15n. Okay, so you kind of have to watch some of those words, but when it said subtracted from 80, that meant your 80 minus 15n. You guys did a good job on that one. Nice job. Okay, 2 plus the quotient of a number and 8 is the same as 16. Okay, 2 plus the quotient of a number and 8 is the same as 16. The answer is B. Okay, now the thing here is that everybody's got the 2 plus, that's fine. Okay, quotient implies you're going to divide. So we know we've already got a fraction. It says a number and 8. The first one listed always goes on the top. Okay, so since it said a number first, that means n goes on top, 8 goes on bottom. So if it would have said the quotient of 8 and a number, that's when you would have had the 8 on the top and the number on the bottom. Okay, 27 times k is h squared decreased by 9. 27 times k is h squared decreased by 9. B, nice job. Way to go. Okay, that decreased by, you had that on your test from yesterday. Okay, so here we go. It says translate the sentence into a formula. The area of a triangle equals the product of 1/2 the length of the base and the height. So what could symbolize area of a triangle? A, will that work? Okay, so there's the area of the triangle equals, means I'm going to put an equal sign. The product of 1/2 the length of the base and the height. So what's that going to be? Times. You know what? Let's use this. So times the base and then times what? The height. And so that formula should look familiar. You've probably seen it before. 1/2 the base times the height is the area of the triangle. Let's look at the next one. It says in a right triangle, and this is something you learn in geometry when you go on to take that. The square of the measure of the hypotenuse C. So you know what? I like to look at that. How can I write the square of C? C squared. So notice by eliminating all that, it kind of makes it a little bit easier. It says is equal to. So you know what? Let's just say is. What would is be? Equals. The sum of. Sum of means you do what? Add. Okay? The squares of the measures of the legs A and B. So you know what? The squares of A and B. So how could I write that? A, and you know what? I'm going to score each of them individually because it says the squares, and so since it has that S on there, that means it wants you to score both A and B. So sometimes it helps to eliminate unnecessary information and focus on the just keywords and the important words. Questions on those two? Because that's going to be, I think, the second part of your homework. We have a few more slides to look at. So let's go ahead and look at this. It says translate each equation into a sentence. So, oops, just a second, we'll go back here. I want you to go ahead and look at that and see which one works there. A or B. A. Good job. So let's look at that part B. It says 15 decreased by. So 15 decreased by just means 15 minus. Okay, 6 times z will be 15 minus 6z. So that's actually flip-flopped. All right, let's look at another one. A, nice job. What would twice y look like? What would be different there? What would it be? 2y. Yep, 2 times y. And then last but not least, we have one more to go. Let's see how you do on this one. Okay, let me get that out of your way. There you go. Answer is A. Okay, main reason for that, this one says 25 times the square of n. This says 25n squared. Okay, so big difference between those two. You're looking for the times there. Any questions? So this is what I need you to do for me for Monday. Pages 78 through 79, I need you to do 21 through 29, and 30 through 44, the evens.